What's happening in the streets?
DC, we're seeing some delays on BART. There was some earlier police activity, 2 medical emergencies, so 10-minute delays in both directions through San Francisco, and that's your look at traffic on 106 KMEL. So my mom calls me Rayna, but the Bay Area knows me as Lady Ray. I'm a radio personality at 106 KMEL. I grew up around the entertainment industry, so I've always been the ham that you see. Me and my cousins would create our own little radio show, take requests, we would pretend to be callers, all of that, right? I've been practicing Nichiren Buddhism with the SGI since I was 21. This practice was actually introduced to me at a very young age. I was about 3 or 4. My aunt had been practicing. She told me that I would be drawn to it. I would come want to hang out just near her while she was chanting Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. The seeds were planted for me to actually embrace this practice for myself years ago. My mom actually was going through some issues with my dad. So my mom embraced chanting Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. I got to see how this practice transformed her life, gave her voice back, gave her confidence back. Around the time that I was about a sophomore in college, I was in a very abusive relationship. I was so low that I wasn't even setting goals for myself, and I was, slacking off in school. This is one of those moments where I really embraced the practice, chanting to unlock that limitless potential to the point where everyone around me could see it and realize that I have this limitless potential within me. I deserve to be valued. I deserve to be treated a certain way, and I can't expect someone else to see that if I don't see that myself. Once you break through that, it's like, okay, well, here's another challenge. Great, bring that next challenge on so I can bust through that and then get through the next one. I mean, that's exactly what happened when I was in college. I started having some health issues and some symptoms that were really kind of scary. After extensive tests, they found out that I had a brain tumor. I was in shock. I was like, what does that mean? How big is it? Where exactly in my brain is it at? How is it gonna affect my ability to function? The symptoms that I was experiencing were very scary, and I was chanting Nam Myoho Renge Kyo to get the best possible results, to have the best surgeon do the surgery, to have the best team around me. And all of the SGI members came together to also chant for those same determinations and those same prayers. The SGI members were super supportive. I ended up finding the doctor who studied and researched this technique to remove the tumor, where they actually, instead of cracking your head open to go in and get it, they actually go in through your nose, which is like amazing. Like, I wouldn't have to have like a scar, I wouldn't have to have stitches, I wouldn't have to shave my head. I was able to book, a doctor's appointment with him, get on his calendar and schedule for surgery. I mean, everything was just like in rhythm, one after the other. The day before my surgery, all day, the SGI members were coming to my home to pray and make sure that the surgery was successful. Went into surgery. I mean, it was literally like, the anesthesiologist counts you down, and then next thing I know, I'm waking up and the doctor is looking at me, and the first thing he says to me is 100%. And I'm like, guess he did a good job. And then he goes, no, I mean, I got out 100% of the tumor. Like I said, with all the chanting and all the support of the SGI members, I feel like that really made all the difference. After this amazing experience, I was able to get back to work around the time when I was producing the morning show and working in a team of people. I was really struggling to find my voice in the workplace. There was a conversation I had with one of my coworkers at the time. He basically said to me, it's either you or me. And I had never been that type of cutthroat person. And I really started chanting Nam Myoho Renge Kyo to open up my life and really start to express myself, fostering like real heart-to-heart connections with people. As I was doing that, I noticed the people around me, they started opening up. We started getting to a place where we could actually be productive and have dialogue. Essentially what happened is I found ways to shine and show my skill set without affecting anyone else's job. People have asked me all the time, why are you so happy? Like, why are you always smiling? So if you can't tell, I love my job. I talk a lot, so why not get paid to talk? there are so many different instances where I see my Buddhist practice aligning with my career choice. Not only is Nam-myoho Renge Kyo this idea of chanting and using sound and using dialogue, but that's what radio is. Radio is sound. Radio is using this kind of old school idea of just talking, right? It's just a dialogue. When I chant Nam-myoho Renge Kyo, I always have this feeling inside of me of bringing out the courage of a lion. If I wasn't a practicing Buddhist, I would probably be that young woman that was still having anxiety attacks and still having trouble lifting up my voice and making sure that it's heard. This practice requires you to polish off this mirror and look into it saying, this is the best me I can be. Being Buddhist in America is empowering, and it just elevates me to a life condition that allows me to be unswayed by whatever negativity or whatever challenges arise. It's almost like when the challenge does arise, it's like, all right, let's do this.